And hello, everyone. I wanted to make comments on on the last video that I made. I had some very good comments on that, and it was by one of the subscribers. He's commented quite a bit and has always very good things to say. He goes by DKJ. You can see it on the last one and read it. It opened up a conversation on a Facebook group that a friend and I started back in March. If you're interested, I will put a link to that, but it's called ASD, for Autism Spectrum Disorder Village. So it's the ASD Village, and we're up to about 134 people now, and it's growing. I mean, it's a real good mix of people, and anyone's invited. Just send me a message that you want to join, and but there's a question there: are you autistic, or somebody that you know, significant other or whatever, autistic child or whatever, and friend. It's just that we're trying to keep the group very private in the sense of, and I know personally. I mean, the kind of stuff I'm sharing here is the kind of stuff I'll share there too, and yeah, I guess this is open to the public. But not very many people in the public are looking for this. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of weird that one group is closed and my channel here isn't. But it's a place that I think people can feel safe to be themselves, which is not very many places for some people. And there's some people that aren't comfortable even there. I mean, not so much that they're not comfortable because of being there, but they're so uncomfortable every place else that it's hard to open up anywhere. So anyway, where am I as far as time here? 2 minutes in. What I wanted to talk about was something I've been going through. This has really been, it's a little concerning actually, as I don't know what's going on, to be honest with you. I'm starting to become more and more anxious. I'm calling it an anxiety. It's kind of a new feeling to me, actually. It's a I don't want to call it a panic, but it's it's like having too much energy, or it's just too much something. And it's sort of what happened to me again the night after I saw the counselor. Right? But anyway, it's from what I've talked with people, it's not. This is not just me. This is part of either a new awareness of existing traits that you have, or I think it's both. That once you start dropping all the defenses that you had that kept the masking going, once you start becoming more aware and focusing in on what is actually going on, I mean, it is such a denial of your whole self. It's hard, and I don't know if everybody goes through with this. I always hate to make blanket statements of everybody, I mean, because it's not, I'm sure it's not everybody. But it is not uncommon, I'll put it that way, that I've come across people that talk about becoming more autistic. It's a mixed, it's a confusing journey in the sense that I've denied who I am and what I am all my life. So I have not evolved and developed those parts of me that are, like career interests, relationships, whether it's friends or lovers or romantic relationships, even family. Uh, everything is affected because you're always putting out some sort of you're projecting, even if parts of the real you get mixed in with all this, it still is like you're sitting in some big machine pulling levers. You're not. I mean, I'm feeling the anxiety, for example, is something that I think has always been there. I know it's always been there. I've complained about it all my life. I've complained about the fatigue, and fatigue is what you kind of call it. I mean, fatigue is anxiety that you can't feel. I mean, that's my new definition. Um, when you start putting causes or, I mean, it can be, an example. I was going to respond to an email of a friend who's autistic, and it was driving me crazy. These are the kind of things that are changing. I think it always did, but now I'm like allowing myself to feel and react in the way that I really do feel. But I have these, well, I guess they're now common size, but it's like a 24-inch screen, a couple of them here. And when my email's up there, it's a 2 foot, or whatever, 18-inch, and I'm dyslexic. So it's a little overwhelming to see all this stretched out stuff, and I've got to track from this end over to here, and then jump down one. I almost have to put my fingers on there and go, okay, this line is to here. Okay, read that one, and then go down that line. I mean, that's that kind of an effort. And I just, I mean, I might have, when I was growing up, and really ever since, well, most of my life, I'll put it that way. I know things changed the last 10, 15 years, but I'll say most of my life, it's like almost a challenge to say, okay, you can do it, go through it, and you just hunker down and you do it. And it's like my emotions be damned, the way I feel be damned, and it takes a toll. If nothing else, it maintains a high level of stress. But I think I've been pretty healthy, so I can't say it's like, oh, it's caused this disease or whatever, but um, it takes its toll on how successful you are in your life. And that's a pretty bad toll right there. But anyway, it's interesting that to find out from others that they have similar experiences of, yeah, now that they're more aware of what's going on, and now that they're learning more about autism, I know it kind of feeds into a self-fulfilling prophecy that I feel I need to be careful about because, I mean, I think you could develop symptoms of things that are as much in your imagination as they are real. I'm at least cautious of that. I don't want to get into that. But I know this anxiety I'm feeling is real. And I know that my response to it has been real. I do ask myself this question. If I had never heard about stimming, if I had never practiced or explored, the different types of stims, I mean, when I get really anxious, it's a relief. It's a release, and it's a relief of that anxiety, and I can't explain it. This is actually a question I'm gonna pose to anyone out here, of course, if you're neurotypical, but I'm gonna pose it on that Facebook page because there's some neurotypical people there, and that is, have you ever tried stimming, and does it relieve anxiety for you? Because that could be a real telling feature of test or how do I say, evaluating autism. I mean, if a person, I don't know, that's a far shot. I know, never mind. But there's a lot of those little things that I question. So anyway, 10 minutes in, that's long enough on this topic. If you've got comments, please, 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 please leave them. And if you can, share my channel. I mean, I don't have hopes of this becoming some viral whatever, but the more people it reaches out, the more worthwhile it is for me, to hopefully touch on some topics that maybe other people are going through. So anyway, thanks again, and we'll talk with you later. Bye-bye.